Welcome back to the channel. This video will be a little bit different. My daughter asked me to teach her how to change brake calipers, rotors on her car. Her brakes are locking up or seizing up. The front end's shaking real bad when they apply the brakes. A friend of theirs told them that the brake calipers are bad. So she's already ordered brake caliper, brake rotor, and a new brake line. She wants to be able to work on her own car, which she has come down to the house. She does know how to change her own brake shoes. She knows how to change her radiator. She knows how to change the fuel pump, spark plugs, coil packs, wires. She's done all this on her car. She wants to learn the same way I learned. My dad taught me how to do all this. Now she wants to learn how to do this stuff, and I'm more than happy to teach her. This way she don't have to go put her car in a mechanic shop and pay stupid labor fees for something simple to be changed. Today we're going to be working on a 2008 Kia Optima. We're going to be changing brake calipers, front ones, brake pads, rotors, and a brake line coming from the brake caliper. She was told the brakes are locking up, brake calipers are locking up. So she'd ordered the parts. We got all the parts. And now we're going to get ready to jack the car up, pull the wheels off, set the emergency brake. Alright, we got the wheel off this one. We're ready to start taking it apart. One of the first things we're going to do is take the brake line off of your caliper. Once you got the caliper out of the way, then we got to remove this bracket, which holds the caliper, and this bracket is hooked to back behind it. On your brake rotor, there's two Phillips screws. Not all cars have this. A lot of cars, your brake rotor is already loose. As soon as you pull the brake caliper off, it's loose and you can pull it off. This one's got two Phillips screws holding it on. And our brake line is hooked to the back of our caliper, screwed on one side, or both sides of the strut, and then it'll go up, and there's a clip holding that on. You got a brake line you got to disconnect. We'll use a line wrench for that, and then you got to pull this clip out of there. It's a little C-clip. Comes straight out of there. Brake line will fall down below. So we'll get started with this. Now when you pull your brake line loose from the back side of your caliper, as you can see, it's going to start leaking fluid out. Put a cardboard, grease rag, something down there to catch your brake fluid, because it's going to drip pretty much the whole time you're doing this procedure. Alright, caliper comes off after you remove the brake line. I'm going to go ahead and pull the caliper off. Be careful, there'll be quite a bit of fluid still in here. This bracket here came off from over here. That's what holds it, holds the caliper up. You have to remove that before we can remove the rotor. Now we're going to pull the two Phillips screws out of the brake rotor and pull it off. And then we'll go up to the brake line. Alright, when you're going back on, here's the new brake cable. It's already on there. There is a spring-loaded clip. That's what's holding it in there. You have to pull that clip out of there, and your brake cable will drop down. When you go to put the new one in, make sure this piece is going to line up on your brake caliper, because you have 50-50 shot of getting this wrong. So flat notches, they'll fit up in there. Then you put that clip back through there to hold it in place. Reattach your brake line to it. Then we'll come on down and hook these to the strut and this end to the back side of your brake caliper. Alright, we got the brake line on. It's fastened up here. Got the clip back in it. Be careful, that's a hard line. When you tighten this up, you don't want to twist it. Comes around, bolts on there, bolts here. They're tight. And this line will come down here to the brake caliper. Now we're moving on. It's time to put a new brake rotor on. All right, we got the bracket on, brake lines on, rotors on. Don't forget your 2 Phillips screws if your car has those. Then we put the caliper on, not the caliper bracket. Next, we're going to put the new brake caliper on, which will go right here. And after it's mounted in place, then we'll put the brake line in there. All right, brake caliper's back on, bolted on, got it good and tight. Before you go and put this on, do yourself a favor, loosen up your bleeder valve. Even though it's actually pretty easy to get to it right there. Next, we'll put the brake line on. It's got 2 brass washers. One will go on each side of it. Put a brass washer on your bolt. Slide it through. Put the other washer on, and now you're ready to hook it to the back side of your caliper. Brake line is on. I had to bend the bracket a little bit so the line wasn't kinked. Everything's put on. Our next step will be add brake fluid and get ready to bleed the brakes. I'm going to show you how to do that. All you need is a hose to hook on here, put it down into a cup of brake fluid. It's pretty simple. All right, we're going to get ready to bleed the brakes. Since brake calipers have no fluid in them. When you're bleeding brakes, you always start with the furthest from the master cylinder. We're doing the front brakes on this, changing the calipers, so we're going to start with the passenger side brake caliper. First thing we got to do is fill our reservoir up. Okay. Next, you'll have somebody helping you get in the car and they start pumping on the brakes. But before they do that, what I've done is come and put a rubber line on your bleeder valve. It's loose and it's hand tight. Go down into a bottle of liquid. The reason we want liquid, all the fluid's going to be coming out of here. We don't want no air to go back up into here. So once we got all fluid coming out, retighten it and take this off and use a wrench and tighten it up. This one will be done. And we'll move on to the other side. You want to pump the brakes? As you can see, the fluid's going down. Okay, hang on. We don't want our reservoir to empty out. All right. Pump some more. Okay, now we got fluid starting to come out. Keep pumping. Hey, that looks good, and we'll tighten that one off. Stop. Pull it back up. Back over here, and we'll take this line off. The way I'm hooking that line up, I'm just pushing it on there. Push it over top. Down our liquid. Go ahead and pump it. You can see it's spitting, it's bubbles and fluid coming out at the same time. Pump it. That's what we're trying to get. Pump it. Keep going.
That's a lot harder.
Okay. Brakes have been bled. Put the wheels on, take it down off the jack stands, take it down the road. Like what you've seen, if it helps you out, great. Like, subscribe, share. There's more of this to come. Thanks for watching.